Hey, this is Michael with Explorers R Us. Want to show you this painting my wife has done. I don't know if you know what it is, but if you've ever watched The Witcher, it is Yennefer. I'll take my cover off. And today, I want to tell you a story about something my wife actually saw personally. She went to a store to return an item, and the clerk had no idea what a debit card or a credit card was. He just knew it was plastic. So it got me thinking, and I started doing some research on what the high schools are teaching, and they're really not teaching much of this. So I started put together a book, and today I want to go over that part, that chapter, if you want to call it that. And it's about debit and credit cards. So if you look in the corner, you'll notice I have a debit and a credit card placed up there, but they look identical. They both have 16 digits, a chip, and a magnetic stripe. But from a financial and accounting perspective, a debit and credit card are as different as a cash drawer and a loan document. If you're managing a budget or running a small business, using the wrong one at the wrong time can cost you, either in interest or in security. Today, we're going to look under the hood at the real difference between these two pieces of plastic. So, first up, the debit card, and I just pop something up on the corner. And basically, it kind of is a flow chart that tells you how it operates. So, it's card, then it goes to the bank account, then it goes to the processor, and then it goes to the merchant. That's basically all it is. But think of it as a digital check. When you swipe a debit card, the merchant's system pings your bank immediately. The money comes directly out of your checking account. If you have 500 in the bank and you spend 100, you now have 400, period. There's a risk though. Since it's a direct line to your cash, if the card is stolen, that money is gone from your account instantly while the bank investigates. In other words, you can't pay your rent. So think about that. Now, the benefit is there's no interest on the money being used. You may be getting interest on the account. So if you're getting 2% a year interest and the money's not there, then you don't get that money. But there's no interest for using the money. There's no monthly bill and no way to spend the money you don't actually have, unless you have overdraft protection, that is. But we'll get into that in a different video. Now, the credit card works a little bit differently. It starts off, you pull your card out. There's a credit line. So if you have $1,000 credit line and you've already spent 500, you still have 500 left to use. It runs through that processor, goes to the merchant, but there's more steps. Then later on, you get billed for it, and it has to go from your bank account, because you have to pay them, back to that lending bank. So if it's, Citibank or Capital One, whatever credit cards you're using, Bank of America maybe, um, they will get the money in the end. But one thing I will tell you that they don't really talk a lot about, and I'm going to deviate here for just a second, is that processor, whether it's and that's the system. That's Visa, Mastercard, Discover. There's still Card around a little bit, but I don't know if there's much of a processing system left for that. But those are the three big ones. And basically, there's a merchant fee that they don't talk to you about, but it's somewhere between 2 and 5%, depending upon volume. So, working in a credit card business for a very long time, I learned a lot about this. So, if it's 2%, you run to the store and you buy $100 worth of stuff, the merchant is only going to get $98. The processor, Visa, Mastercard, whatever, they keep it. That's their fees, their handling fees. So if you didn't know about that, you should, which is why there's sometimes minimums at stores where you have to spend $5 or $20, whatever the case may be. Some merchants don't take cards because of that fee. It's too much. Anyway, back to the credit card. And this is fundamentally a short-term loan. When you swipe this card, the bank pays the merchant on your behalf, less their fees. You're using a line of credit. You aren't touching your bank account yet. Then there's a billing cycle at the end of the month or whatever day that each they set it up on basically 20 days of the month where they bill. So 4 weeks. And so if you're on the 8th, they will send you a bill on the 8th. And that is the end of the month to them, not necessarily to you. And that bank sends you a bill. And they'll say, oh, you got to pay it by 25 days, or we're going to start charging you interest. So we'll get into the credit card side of the business later on, but it's basically you can use it for free for about 29 days. If you don't pay in full, that's where the high interest rate kicks in, and I'm seeing over 30% now. Um, you know, and if there's a late fee, they're like $40 or $50, depending upon which bank you use. So if you don't pay on time, there's some financial risk for you. In finance, we call that revolving debt, and it's a trap that's hard to climb out of. If the credit card is compromised or stolen or whatever, the missing money belongs to the bank, not you. You can dispute the charge before a single cent ever leaves your personal pocket. That's one of the benefits. Now, I'm going to go to let's see, I got to pull it. I'm going to pop up on the screen a the difference between a debit and a credit card. And I'm going to talk through some of this real quick, but basically, a debit card is your checking account. A credit card is the bank's line of credit. There's no interest charged on a debit card, but a credit card can be very high if it's not paid in full. Credit building basically doesn't affect your credit score if you're using a debit card, but a credit card, it helps build that credit score if you pay on time. And we'll get into the details of how to actually get a really high credit score in another video. But now fraud protection, it's okay, but your money can be trapped for a while while it's being disputed, and you can't pay your rent. Where with a credit card, it's very good because if you call and say you're disputing it, they put that money on hold. And they have the bank, they usually give the bank or the merchant or whoever is the problem 30 days to figure it out. So the money's taken off your card temporarily. But when they put it back, you got to be prepared for that too. Now, rewards, yeah, there are some rewards on debit cards. Credit cards are pretty good. You've heard of the airline discounts or the cashback bonus that Discover used. Which, by the way, they were the first company to ever do that. Um, Spending limit, it's limited to whatever balance is available in your checking account. But with a credit card, it's set by the lender, and you can ask to be requalified for a larger amount. So it can grow, and sometimes it shrinks. Payment timing, well, as soon as you use that debit card, it's basically gone within 20 or 30 minutes. Um, but with the credit card, there's a monthly bill. So you've got that 30-day window. Overdraft protection in a debit situation, unless you happen to have overdraft protection on your account, you have none. So if it's a penny more than you have, the transaction will not go through. With a credit card, some of them give you a buffer of 10% or $50 or something like that. So you just kind of have to read the fine print on all your cards as to whether there's really overdraft or not. Now, again, we talked about dispute power. It's okay in debit cards. You go to the bank, but you're not going to have the funds. And it's very strong if you use a credit card because they often side with the consumer. And I've seen that. It is true. And ideal uses, everyday spending, budgeting, avoiding debt, that's all debit card material. And a credit card material is more for building credit, larger purchases, maybe travel, and it's got great fraud protection. So, you don't have to worry about the bank sending you another card because your card was lost. They both will have to do it, but with a debit card, you're usually dealing with your cash that you can't get to. So hopefully you found that piece was helpful. I'm back again. And here's my take after 25 years in the business. Use the credit card like a debit card. Only spend what you already have in the bank, but use the credit card to do it. Why? Because you get the fraud protection and the points or rewards. But if you avoid the interest by paying it off every Friday, it gives you a buffer zone between your hard earned cash and the rest of the world. I've got one card, I get 2% cash back. I use it all the time, every time I go to a restaurant. I don't like giving out a debit card to restaurants, so I will always use a credit card. That's just something personal. And I've personally seen the problems associated with restaurants. And one day I'll talk about some of the things they do in those restaurants. And it's not just there, but they're very good at what's called skimming. And I will do an entire video on skimming at some point. But anyway, understanding the plumbing of your finances is the first step towards true financial independence. If this breakdown helped you, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. Are you a team debit or a team credit person? This is Michael with Explorers R Us. Thanks for watching. And as always, get out and explore. Have a great day.